that the ingredients list, it's always from descending order, from largest down to the smallest, and it's always in a percentage. And we're going to look at, when we look today, we're going to look at 100 grams only, because by looking at 100 grams to understand 25% of the product is sugar. If you look at so that fits in quite well. Talk to kids about what do they do, what do manufacturers do with the panels to make it tricky for us to actually view them. I get kids to actually look at the front and say, by looking at that, can you tell if that's healthy or not? What are the messages that the manufacturers are actually giving us in regards to this product? So what are some that people have? What are the messages that you're getting?
99% fat-free.
Yep, 99% fat-free.
Light.
What are some other messages?
Baked, not fried.
Baked, not fried, so it must be healthier. Any others?
40% less fat.
40% less fat. Yeah, that's always a common one. Yeah.
High in real fruit.
Contains real fruit. You say that it might be okay for one canteen group in one state, but it doesn't mean it's okay for everyone. So it's just the way that they market. It's kind of like a Heart Foundation tick. How that works, and they're all different. Looking at the 100 grams column, now you're looking for less than 10 grams. Now, if you've got a dairy product, and there are a couple of dairy products, you get a little bit of a bonus. You get an extra 2 grams. Okay, so you can have 12, but generally it's less than 10. Now, with kids, when you do this with kids, you could do it where you get kids to stand up if the whole class is standing up, and then you get kids to sit down if they don't pass that. So, and that's got anything that surprises them. Has anyone got anything that passes at this stage? So has less than 10. So what? Now, sugar, in general, we want to choose products that have less than 15 grams per 100. So less than 15% of the product is to be sugar. Now, if you've got a product with fruit in it, you can have up to 25 because fruit isn't that. Yeah, so that's where it was a bit lower in fat, but it's gone straight up with the sugar content. And the same with the bubbly chocolate. 56. So have a look at sodium. Now, we want the less the better. We're looking for 400 milligrams or less. Now, this is where some of the chip packets are going to be quite scary. 400. Looking for more than 3 grams, if possible, per 100. Where it gets a little bit scarier. Because these are just take one plus one. Check the labels the same, look at the fats, then look at the sugar. Now, remember with these products, you can have, because they contain real fruit, they can have up to 25 grams of sugar per 100. Noughts and crosses, how much has that got?
The sugar?
Yeah.
38.7 grams.
Okay, so 38. So not as much as some, but have a look at what they look like. To me, that looks like a lolly. 3-year-olds.
31.3.
31, and that one?
31.7.
Yeah, so these are products aimed at 1-year-old kids that are already getting our kids adjusted to eating these types of snacks. So instead of eating a piece of fruit, they'll eat something that's a lot more sugar than what a piece of fruit does. They're listing ingredients. They break it down, instead of writing sugar, they can break sugar down into several different words. And there you can see all the words for sugar, all the words for fat, fibre and salt. And sometimes, especially with salt, if you have a look around, celery salt makes it sound so much healthier, doesn't it? Like someone had light cheese before. So light cheese can mean, of course, lighter in fat, just a little bit, only a little bit. It really, if it contains real fruit juice, it only needs a drop of it. Okay, same thing with light cheese, only needs a little bit. But light can also mean texture, colour. Okay.